This is going to be a quick review on BMF episode 5. So, seen the quick, seen the little preview, the early sneak peek, or whatever you call it. This episode was on some shit. You got Lamar running around like he lost his mind. You got Meech on some Mr. Kidnapper type shit, on some ransom type shit. And then you have Terry trying to see what's going on, to see what's going on with this money for his eye that he doesn't want to take. So you get the Flannery family in a meeting with the lawyers. They're talking, having a discussion. And it's quite obvious by now that he's a drug dealer, according to what the lawyers have, the evidence that they have on not only Meech but Terry as well. And it leads to some kind of suspicion that he is a drug dealer based on how brutal the attack was and the fact that he was sitting in a Mercedes car, which is a $30,000 car at that time, especially if you're in the crack game. I mean, of course, you can afford it. So, this episode right here, it was something. It was like one of the. I said it before. It's one of the hot episodes. I mean, once we get towards the end of the season, things start to heat up a little bit. You have Lamar. He vows to go pick up Zoe from school. Now he's living the good life right now. He got his girl back. He got Zoe back. He's a family man. Monique with her fine self, clowning all up on Lamar. She respects this man because he's making things happen. He's a boss right now. Until this episode. So he wants to pick Zoe up from school. He begs, okay? I don't want to say beg, but he begs for a chance. He wants to have Monique's trust so that he can stay in the family, stay where he is. He loves Monique and he loves Zoe. He wants to go pick Zoe up. So now you got Meech on the other hand, who is a bit desperate now. First of all, he wants to run his own operation with his brother. He wants to be on his own route. And he doesn't want to work for Pat anymore. Pat isn't having that. He chastises him, giving him the little uncle punch. And he says, you're going to be up under me. That's basically what he's saying. He's not ready to let Meech go. He wants to have that control. So Meech starts getting desperate. Meech and Terry start talking about the settlement with his eye. He said Terry wants to take the money for what happened. I mean, knowing that he's going to have a messed up eye for the rest of his life, he might as well take everything he can get from them. And $25K is not enough to him in his eyes. But Meech, he starts getting worried. He doesn't want Terry to take the money. He doesn't even want Terry to keep going and pushing because it's going to make things hot. So that's going to be some things. So now you can tell that Terry is not really feeling Meech. You can tell. I mean, each and every episode, it seemed like he doesn't want to be up under Meech because Meech is a bit of a live wire. Now, I don't mean live wire as a person that pops off, but Meech is very flashy. He is a flashy guy. He draws a lot of attention to himself. So now you got Lamar, got the whole 12th Street crew surrounded. He got them surrounded by him. He wants to know where they live. He wants to know where they stay at. He wants to know everything. He wants to come for Meech. Why? Because Meech took Zoe instead of Lamar. Meech, you have to remember, Meech been dealing with Monique. He knows Zoe. So this doesn't really come off as a kidnapping. I mean, not the way I see it, but in Lamar's eyes, it's a kidnapping. I don't think Meech was going to harm Zoe, but then again, he was desperate. But Meech meets up with Zoe way before Lamar. Lamar shows up. She's not there. One of his mans come up, gives him a ransom note, and he is pissed. So now, you got your boy Tiny in the back. He starts trying to so-called hold Lamar accountable, saying it's his fault for taking the stash. Lamar, dismisses everyone, acts like he's dismissing someone, and he chastises Tiny. Puts the belt around him, choke him all out. And I thought that was going to be the end of him. I really thought that it was going to be the end for Tiny. And he ain't playing no games. Comes to find out, Slick was the one that got shot. And when you're watching the episode, you can see him limping and limping and limping. So now, like I said, things are heating up in this episode. Just look at it. I mean, if you watch the episode and if you watch it tonight, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You're gonna see exactly what sorry, I'm just fixing something real quick. Just fixing my lighting. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you got Mr. May, the witness. He's seen what happened to J Mo. Has him in the interrogation room. They finish interrogating him. He walks out. He sees Bryant, and now in his eyes, Bryant looks really familiar, but he doesn't say anything. But there's some kind of tension with Bryant and Mr. May, but he's let go. Nothing happens. Nothing is said. So Lamar calls Kato. We get Kato and Meech and Terry having a discussion. Now Zoe is in the living room. She's watching cartoons. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know that she's being used for ransom. After being bribed for ice cream and burgers and food and all this other fun activities, she does not have any idea what's going on. So the crazy part happens. Lamar calls Kato while the Flannery boys are right there. She plays it off, walks off. Now I'm thinking there's gonna be a scene. At the time as I was watching, I thought that maybe it's going to be a shot where Meech and Terry have some kind of suspicion, but that doesn't happen. So Lamar's over the phone tripping. She comes out the room, doesn't see Meech, so she's a little bit nervous, but she sees that they left because Zoe told him. So I don't think they suspect anything yet. Sorry, this lighting is just crazy. So Lamar shows up. Kato's there. He ransacks the place. So now, the thing about Lamar, you can tell Lamar wants to be a family man. I've said this many times. He wants to be a family man. He has feelings for his family. So the way he goes about it, at first seems like he's so money hungry, but he's not. He cares for Zoe genuinely. Let's just keep it real. So him and Meech and Lamar have a conversation because Lamar calls from the crib. Ask him what's going to happen. No, he doesn't ask anything. Threatens him some more, says he doesn't care about anything, so he's going to kill his family and all this other stuff. So, like I said, things are starting to heat up. So you got Bryant. He searched for J Mo's earring, as they mentioned in the interrogation. Bryant, I don't think Brian was on in this episode. He was just nervous. He was sweating bullets throughout this whole episode, man. This is as nervous as we're gonna see Brian, but it's not over for him yet. So this episode was based about lying to make other people feel good, lying to save your ass, and that was the theme of this episode. And it was kind of dope that they had this theme because lying is a human thing. Everyone lies. You have liars, then you have pathological liars. But bottom line is, people lie. So this episode was based all around lying. How the art of lying. That's the thing. The art of lying. Meech bribed Zoe, lied to her. Terry is trying to keep the lie going that he doesn't sell drugs. Now, it's evident that Charles knows that Terry sells drugs with his brother. Now, like a mother always wants to see the good in their child. So she asks, even though she's holding the evidence in her hand, the fact that her son says no, that just gives her everything she needs to know. So, you got Slick, and his crew, they pulling up. They thought they was finna pull some hammers out because Terry goes over to the garage to the mechanic, and then the 12th Street crew show up. No, I'm sorry. The 50 boys show up with hammers, kidnap them, just throw them in the trunk. Next thing you know, he's getting beat on. Slick is getting beat on by the 50 boys. B. Mickey and Terry to be exact. So he's a tough guy. Listen. Slick is a solid guy. He's a real solid dude. I like Slick. I really do like Slick. I mean, Slick, he's loyal. He stays loyal, and he rules. He's second in command that rules with an iron fist. So I salute him for not telling anything about Lamar. He was just kept him coming. Then he's getting beat on and beat on and beat on. Then you got Meech shows up, beats on him some more, and then he gives him an ultimatum. Shows Zoe in the car playing, listening to music. Gives him an ultimatum to either save Zoe or have Zoe, as he said, quote unquote, that he was going to cut her head off and write a note saying that Slick didn't save Zoe and Lamar's going to come for him. So Lamar's feared. I mean, it's crazy. He went to jail. He had some mental issues, according to Ronald Reagan, which is why he was let out early. So he doesn't want none of Lamar. So Meech is desperate. He wants this money. He wants the dope. He wants the dope, all of it. He wants everything. He wants to get things going. Slick gives him the address. Lamar shows up to the crib where Lamar's at. Lamar shows up, sees Zoe in the car, gives Zoe back to Lamar. I'm sorry. Slick shows up with Lamar's daughter, Zoe, shows up. And you have Monique. Now, Monique earlier has been tripping. She feels betrayed. She suspects that it's some bull going on between Lamar and Meech. I kind of messed that part up earlier. I might edit that out. I don't know. But she is pissed. So he's trying to calm her down. So later on, back to what I was talking about, Monique isn't having it. He broke the trust with Monique. Monique kicks him out once again, saying to F him and F Meech for the streets that she's done, and I have a feeling that she's done this time. Now this is gonna set up some problems with Lamar and Meech, because now Meech is the reason that Lamar got kicked out of his house. He's the reason that all of this stuff has happened, because Lamar was the one that showed up to the stash house. So now Kato, on the other hand, has some issues. I don't know how long she's gonna keep this lie up. I don't know how she's gonna keep this up. But sooner or later, I mean, believe what they say. That saying, what's in the dark comes to light. It's gonna come out very soon. So I don't know how this is gonna play out. I don't know what this is gonna lead to, but it's not gonna look good for Kato at the end of the day. I have a feeling, this is my premonition, my prediction, that it might take B. Mickey to take out Kato. You know that they close. They have some feelings towards each other. They already have sexual relations. So it wouldn't be surprising if Kato was being took out by B. Mickey. So now you have Tiny. Tiny is a businessman. He's not a gang member, crew member. He does it for the money. He meets up with Meech, gives him the product. Gives the money for the product. He mentions that he's a businessman. He doesn't care for all that. Meech got him wrapped around his finger. Has him all wrapped around his finger. So now, Bryant and Pat, they have a conversation. And Pat tries to bribe Bryant to work for him, knowing that he works for Meech. But Brian doesn't take it serious. He doesn't take his offer. He refuses. He doesn't want to work for Pat. He believes Pat is way too slick, being that he's from New York, and Pat wants more power. He refuses. So now you have Pat and Lopez. They go over to Mr. May's house to get some more answers, because it's been said that he called and said that he has more information. Comes to find out, one of his neighbors said that he moved out. So now you have Brian meeting up with Meech, and he already knows that Meech took care of him. Sorry about that. So yeah, as I was saying, Lopez is scoping out Meech and Brian have an interaction, and yeah, he's always been suspicious of Brian. I mean, like I said, ever since the interrogation, he's always been suspicious because Brian is always so lenient towards Meech and his brother and his family. So we get to the next scene, or the scene after the next scene, or whatever. Meech and Terry have a discussion about Big L, meeting up with Big L. So Comes to find out that Big L doesn't want to do business with Meech because he's too flashy, which is why she would rather do business with Terry because he's more out of the spotlight. He doesn't care to be on Front Street opposed to his other brother. So he feels a way about Terry doing this without him. So he asked his friend if he's flashy, and he said he ain't got time for none of that. He has no time or desires to get in their business. So we fast forward to. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I did a little thing. I thought I seen something. But anyway, we fast forward to the crib. Now Lamar got 4 bricks on the bed. Meat shows up. He snuck in with the spare key through the back door. They still having a discussion about the work and bricks and everything like that. Typical drug business. And Terry starts have some concern about being in the game, being that the fact that the hospital's playing with him, and the fact that he's fed up with with all the anarchy that's been going on because of Meech, which is why he wants to go and do his own thing because he thinks Meech brings on a lot of problems. I mean, it's evident that he feels that way. And so, as they're having a discussion, we see the camera panning in a way I thought it was pretty ill. It was quite obvious that it was Lucille, his mother. His mother walks in, their mother walks in, sees everything. She sees everything. I mean, she sees the truth in person. Now, mothers, they're going to defend their son. They can't believe that their son would do anything bad. Their son is just perfect. But until they see the truth right to the naked eye, to their naked eye, that's when everything becomes official. And it became official in her eyes that Terry was part of the drug game. So now she looks terrified after seeing this. And it's heartbroken. It's heartbreaking for her to see Terry, the innocent child, the one that has a future, the one that's been going to school and getting good grades, is in the drug game with his older brother. So that's my review. You let me know what y'all think in the comments, if you thought the episode was fire or if you thought it was a little cold. I thought it was fire. I thought the episode started to pick up on a lot of things, and it's going to lead to a lot of anarchy within the next 2 episodes. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It's this episode 5, the next 3 episodes. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Things are starting to heat up. The tensions between the 50 boys and the 12th boys is gonna escalate to something really serious, and I can't wait. I want to see it all. I want to see all the smoke. But y'all let me know what y'all think of the review, think of the series, think of the episode. If you didn't watch the episode, don't watch this video. I should have said that in the beginning, but yeah. This is a recap review video. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments if I missed anything. And y'all be easy out there, man. I'm about to be late as hell for work, but I do it for y'all. Alright, man. Y'all be easy.